everybody, it's Jamie from Modern Day Fox, and I'm back with my friend Chad again.
Hello.
And we are here to do another recipe that fits your new diet. You want to talk about your diet?
Yeah, actually we are picking things that have a lot of no sugar in them.
Yeah, no sugar is big because you have diabetes.
Yes, no sugar. I mean, you obviously should watch your carbs, but as a diabetic, you should also include 15 carbs in each meal. So you don't want to have no carb diet. That's not good. And then try to stick with the
Whole foods
kind of thing.
Well, I actually happened to be walking through Publix today, and you know how at Publix they have those little stands where they make food and you can try it. I love those things. Well, today's recipe, I was like, wow, I could easily convert that to the Instant Pot. So thank you, Publix. This is what we are using, the Brazilian style pork stew. And I knew you were coming over today, and I thought it was perfect because the ingredients that it uses it's pretty simple.
Hot sauce.
It has hot sauce, which I know you love. Gonna take 2 cans of Bush's black beans. It's gonna have chicken broth, which I made this in my Instant Pot the other day using my chicken bones. It has reduced fat tomato soup, and that's Campbell's. And then it does have some bacon in it, which gives it a little extra kick flavor. And it has pork stew meat, and then salt and pepper. This is going to be really easy to convert to the Instant Pot because it's just basically after you saute your bacon and your pork for a few minutes, you're just going to dump the rest of the ingredients in and set your pot and forget it. So let's get started.
All right, let's go.
Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is actually turn our pot onto saute. Just press that button right there. And this is going to start heating the pot up. And we're gonna take 5 slices of bacon, and we're gonna cook that for about 4 to 5 minutes in the pot until it's crisp. And you just wanna flip it. It does stick a little bit to the bottom of the pan. And so this just has about another minute. Meanwhile, you wanna take your stew meat, and this is just over a pound, about a pound, 1.23 pounds. And just add some salt and pepper seasoning to that. Once your bacon is pretty well cooked, go ahead and put it on a plate. And then you're going to want to leave your bacon drippings. Try to scrape the bottom so you get those yummy bits off the bottom. And you're going to put your pork stew in there and just brown it. Okay. Now that it's lightly browned on each side, Chad, why don't you go ahead and add the rest of the ingredient?
We'll go ahead and we're going to put in the rest of the bacon.
Yep.
All right, Jamie?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to stick that in there. We had 2 cans of the beans. Going to put that right in there.
Make sure you rinse and drain the beans.
Everything just goes right in there. And then we'll start with this. This is actually Campbell's tomato soup. You want to get reduced fat, especially, you know, being a diabetic, you always want to choose no fat, reduced fat, 2% milk, all those kind of choices. So, but this is just a tomato soup that's going to go right in there. Add 1 1/4 cup of chicken broth.
And then I think the last thing that you have to add is hot sauce, right?
And that is 1/4 cups of hot sauce.
The next thing that you want to do is just turn your pot off so it's not on saute anymore. All right, so that's what it looks like inside the pot. Do this. You always want to make sure that your valve is turned to sealing. If this is not turned, then your pot is not going to come to pressure. And then we're going to go ahead. It's really simple. This pot has the soup setting right here. So press that. It's going to automatically set to high pressure for 30 minutes. So if you don't have the soup setting, just type in 30 minutes on high pressure. And we will let that do a natural release, and then we'll have a great Brazilian stew courtesy of a Publix recipe. All right, real fast, while the stew is finishing up, I'm gonna do a little bonus. This is Basmati rice, and I have 2 Instant Pots, so I'm gonna go ahead and start my rice. I just put in 2 cups of Basmati, 2 1/4 cups water. Then we're just gonna put the lid on, turn your valve to sealing. And we're gonna set this at manual for 6 minutes and then do a natural pressure release. This is how I always make my basmati rice, and it turns out great every single time. All the pressure is released, so we're gonna take the lid off. All right, this is the stew meat, and I just wanna show you how tender it is. I mean, it just falls apart, it cuts apart with a fork. And this smells wonderful. Our rice just finished, so I'm gonna let the steam naturally release from this pot, and our basmati rice will be ready. And then we can serve up a bowl, and Chad can be my taste tester. All the steam has been released from my rice, so you can take a look in here. And just give it a stir. So we will serve our stew over the basmati rice.
All right, so we've got our Brazilian style pork stew, and Jamie has put it in this beautiful bowl here. A little hot.
Sorry, I burned your mouth off. You can't eat the stuff right out of the pot.
But, yeah, that's good, Jamie.
I hope you enjoyed this video, Brazilian style pork stew from the Publix website. I will link up the recipe in the description of this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and make sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Modern Day Fox.